it all ends well. So you're here, so it all ends well, and that is the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, like up till now, I've no idea what to do for game week 20.
Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Escapades. So we are joining after game week 19, which was the first double game week of the season, and we have been through an absolute roller coaster, to be really honest, because teams with double game weeks did not really live up to the potential. So apart from Leicester and maybe West Ham, I think City disappointed, and apart from the disappointment, we've also been rocked with the news that Kevin De Bruyne will be out for 6 weeks. So delighted to be joined by Anand as usual, and we have a special guest today who's FPL Joe, and he's been an amazing contributor to the FPL community on Twitter, as we all know. And we, as FPL Escapades, we are delighted to have him because he's been so supportive throughout our journey as when we started FPL Escapades, and he's been doing amazing work himself. So he's been an affiliate of FPL Expectations along with Craig and All About FPL. If you go on Twitter, and he's also a part of Fantasy Football Hub. So delighted to have you, Joe. How is your season going, and how is everything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to be here. When I was invited by Anand, I was like, oh, okay, great. I can finally be part of the show as a guest. So far, I think up to now, because I think we still have one more game left with the game week 19, Newcastle versus Villa. But currently, I think I'm at about overall rank of 26,000. So great. I mean, it's definitely much higher than I expected, to be honest. So yeah, I'm in I guess I'm in a quite a good position. But now it's just because I think mainly I've used my free hit chip and also my triple captain chip on game week 19. So I guess the season is still long. There's a second half of the season, another 19 game weeks. I think my main objective is to hang in there and not too many red arrows, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you couldn't have chosen the words better because it's a long season, as we all know, and we all know about the disappointment you've had with Kevin De Bruyne triple captain.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's really harsh. It's really harsh on Kevin De Bruyne owners, to be really honest. But then you are in a great position. You have 26K right now, and it's only upwards. I do not see anything going down from here. So you have a
Hopefully.
pretty. So Anand, how was your game week and how is it going so far?
Let's not even go there. I'm currently on 81 points, but I have Justin on my bench, and I haven't played the bench boost.
Oh no.
I also decided to play Dallas instead of Justin. So that was not a really good decision. Now, if I reconsider it, but yes, Justin was playing against Southampton. Justin was playing against Southampton and Chelsea, and Dallas was playing against Brighton. But the thing that I did not think about was Leeds having an awful pitch, which fortunately for me now they are laying a new pitch in the stadium. But against Brighton it was such an awful pitch, and Leeds look really rusty against them. So yeah, I also had Smith Rowe on my bench, so that's more than 20 points lost from the bench. Could have been a good option to play the bench boost. But I do have 3 Villa assets left, for game week 19. Watkins, Grealish, and Martinez left. So still hopeful that I can get a score of around 90 or something like that. But yeah, could have been much more. What about you, Akshay? How's your game week going on so far?
Yeah, so I'm currently on 90 points myself, and I have a double up on Aston Villa with Martinez and Grealish. So what I feel is I think Aston Villa have turned up really well after a long break. Yeah, great to see Aston Villa back in the fold because they offer a lot when it comes to FPL. And Grealish is someone who is looking like a probable replacement for Kevin De Bruyne owners as well. So yeah, we'll touch upon that, and without much ado, we'll jump on to our first section, which is the essentials for Game Week 20. So, looking at the essentials, Anand, what do you think? Like, who are the essentials going into Game Week 20? Because we have some favorable fixtures in Manchester United facing Sheffield United at home. So, are you going to back our United boys yet again?
Absolutely, United looking really good. Since the project restart, they've been amazing. They got on a run, finished third, and right now they are top of the table. So I don't think for any particular reason why I should avoid United assets. Also, I was just telling you guys about Leeds laying a new pitch on their ground, a hybrid pitch that they've ordered from London. But they'll be playing Newcastle, and that will be an away match, so the pitch will not be a worry. And that is why I feel Bamford and Leeds might just come back into reckoning once again. They thrashed Newcastle a few weeks back, and I am not really expecting a very different result until unless Newcastle comes out and produces a really good display of defense, and their keeper Darlow is again once again in top form. If that happens the case, then of course anything can happen. But yeah, Leeds, they'll be hungry. They'll be disappointed to lose against Brighton, and I think Bamford could be a really good shout. Regarding coming to the midfielders, you've said it, Akshay, already. I think when it comes to Manchester United, is there any other player that we can look beyond Bruno Fernandez? He has been topping all the charts, be it assists, be it goals, be it the returns in FPL in terms of points. He's just up there. He was so unlucky against Fulham in the double game week when he hit the post, and also really unlucky against Liverpool as well because he forced Alisson to make a really good save. But yeah, these things are common. But what's more important to see is that he's still the fulcrum of the team, and he is getting those chances, and probably sooner than later he'll start converting them once again. Coming to defenders, I think the most unlucky defender that we've had so far this season is Cancelo.
Yeah.
He hit the post. He hit the post once again against Villa, and that was a little bit disappointing for all the FPL managers who own Cancelo because he is right now at top for key passes for matches alongside Robertson, but he's like far cheaper than Robertson, and that is why I feel that Cancelo he has not scored a goal yet, and it's just time for him. And he's just had one assist to his name, but it's just time because he's just creating so much that probably uh, with De Bruyne out, City will bank a lot on him, and probably we might see him into the returns that the FPL managers want.
Yep.
Regarding keepers, I really don't want to look beyond Martinez because I got him for so cheap, probably 4.6 or 4.7, and really no point shipping him out, especially with all the postponed games that Villa has had. There'll be plenty of game weeks coming for them, and I really don't want to see, beyond Martinez here. Joe, what's your outlook regarding the essentials heading into game week 20?
Yeah, I think probably you covered most of it. Um, Man United, they are actually on top form right now. I think for the past 3 game weeks, if I'm not mistaken, they are probably number two in terms of total team XG. But City is still the top because I think they they trashed Palace and then they won quite comfortably against Villa, and then they are on the game week 20. They are facing the worst team in the league so far. In terms of shots conceded, in terms of XG conceded. So in terms of stats, looks like you or we would want to bring as many City players as we can. And on top of that, not just XG, their XG conceded is also the lowest. I think Diaz and Stones only conceded 1 goal so far. It's crazy. And like what you say, with a KDB out, Cancelo will probably be more important than ever. So yeah, I mean, I think you covered most of it. Antonio is the one that I mean, he looks really good during game week 19. His XG is also, you know, quite good, more being about almost 1.5, I think, over 2 games, and that's actually really high. And Palace, they are not in a good shape at the moment. They're actually conceding quite a lot of shots, headers as well. So, which is why I actually fancy Antonio doing something against Palace, and also Cresswell, because you know, he's great so far. Already six assists for a defender. So yeah, I can see Cresswell, you know, fancying his chances against Palace again on game week 20. So yeah, quite agreeable with the list.
Yeah, moving to Akshay. So you own Anthony Martial, and he has been a little bit patchy, but at the same time really unlucky because he has been getting those chances. What's your take on the essentials, Akshay?
I think the only thing with the only positive with Anthony Martial right now is when I look at the FPL homepage and my team, I see Sheffield United home as the next fixture. So that's been his bunny fixture, and so keeping my fingers crossed for that. But really great points about the essentials that we have listed here. So Leicester assets are rightly popular, and Madison and Barnes is one battle that is really like keen to see right now because people are looking for cheap assets in midfield to replace Kevin De Bruyne, as we have already stressed on. So Madison is someone who is trying to maybe rekindle into that James Madison of old when he was lighting it up for Leicester last season. So great to see that. And Cancelo, oh my God, what do I say about him? So FPL community has a new term for him, which is XL and X liveliness. So he's right up there for X liveliness, and not always dodging FPL points. And as we also mentioned, he's clearly the king of FPL, like dodging FPL points. And Ollie Watkins does not even come close, I guess. Yeah, all in all, great analysis of the essentials. And moving on, we move on to our differentials for game week 20.
Yeah, so this is like a really interesting section. We've always emphasized players with really less ownership, ownership of less than 5%. And if you can really get them in now, and if they're really good picks, then it will reward you in the long term in a really good way. So, starting with Joe, what do you think about your differential picks heading into game week 20?
I think the most popular differential pick we will be looking at on game week 20 is definitely Gundogan for Man City. If you look at FPL Twitter, everyone is raving about him. But you know, I mean, it's quite funny because before, I think before the last few game weeks, you know, nobody would actually look at him because I think there is a shift in his playing position for City, and I've read a few threads on why is he a good option. I think, you know, there's one particular thread I've read that he comes in to the box slightly later than other players, and against teams which defends deep, you know, like sometimes you know, because you usually teams that plays against City, they will try to be compact, and they'll try to sit deep. So if the first wave of attack, you know, gets rebounded or doesn't get the shot going, and Gundogan reaches the box late to finish things off, you know, so he can be a good option, and also seems like he's now on penalties, which makes it even more attractive. So my pick would probably be Gundogan for game week 20.
I personally really like that Gundogan pick because, as you mentioned, he's playing in a different role in that Manchester City team right now, and that's more to bring the best out of Kevin De Bruyne, to be really honest, because we've seen Pep play without a striker of late, and
Yep.
it's either De Bruyne or Sterling or Foden who started up front, and what that does is it gives Gundogan a lot of space outside the box, and as you mentioned, he does pop in very late, so we saw that with a very beautiful curled effort as well in the last game. So at that price, 5.5, I think you can't ask for more because the other
Yeah.
options in Suchek and Neto, I don't think they offer as much as Gundogan in a team like Manchester City. So I personally really like that pick. And one of the other picks that I really like here is Edinson Cavani. So been a huge fan of him ever since he was playing for Napoli, and Anand is a fan himself, so he does have him in his FPL team, and I would like to know what's been the journey with him right now. Yeah.
This was the second time that I brought in Cavani because the last time I got him in, he got injured soon. That is my luck with strikers. If I'm getting Aguero in, he's isolating. If I'm getting Cavani, he's either getting suspended or getting injured or whatever. But yeah, luckily for me this game week, Cavani scored a goal for me. Rather scored a goal for United, but yeah, impacted my FPL team as well. And the thing with Cavani is he is risky. A lot of people have been telling me that with Martial and Greenwood into the contention, the playing minutes for Cavani will be scattered. But the thing is, he's so lethal. Even if he gets an average of 60 minutes per match, those
Yep.
60 minutes are absolutely gold because he's so lethal. And even if you just look at his numbers, look at his goal plus assist per 90 minutes, that is a +1. Even his NPXG plus XA, again 0.83. So really high figures. And he's taking a decent amount of shots as well per match. And at
Yep.
that price, at 7.8, the real competitions are, say, DCL or all the guys who are below 7.8, for example, say Neil Maupay or Wilson or Bamford or Watkins. And because he's so lethal, he at that price you can't go much wrong. But yes, in case he's injured or he's out of favor, probably then you can look beyond him. But right now, he is scoring goals. He's scoring important goals for Ollie, and Ollie really wants him playing for his team because he's a different sort of a striker, a proper striker, and
Yep.
United doesn't have one. And despite being just 33, he's not a stone over there. He moves. He's like a workhorse. He defends for
Yeah.
the team, and that's something that's really inspiring to see, and can be a really good FPL asset going forward this season. But yeah, just coming back to Joe and Akshay, you again, you've emphasized a lot on Gundogan. But starting with Joe first, is there any other midfield defender, keeper, or striker that you would like to talk about differential? And once you complete, then we can.
I mean, personally, if you talk about game week 20, I think the focus should, I would say the focus should be on City and probably United teams. Pogba is an interesting one. Pogba, I think recently he played really well for United, and it's also one of the reasons why United came back to form. His right foot is so little from range. But I think his position wise he's a little bit deep as compared to the other United assets. But because of such a little, he has such a little right foot. He can still deliver the goods. So at 7.7, I would think he should be nailed in the team right now because with the form he's in, and United really need as many points as possible, especially in their next 5. So Pogba is another good option, good differential to have in the team as well. So yeah, and besides that, maybe another player that is not in here, but I don't think his ownership is less than 5. He's about 5.1 or 5.2%. is Harvey Barnes. But maybe we can talk about him later because I think Leicester's fixtures improve after game week 20 because I think Everton is not an easy team to play against. You know, so I would probably fancy Everton stopping a Leicester on game week 20. So yeah, so that's my take on this.
Really interesting
Yeah,
that
sure,
you
go.
touch upon. Really interesting that you touch upon Pogba's position. So I was just reading Gabriel's FPL matchups thread for this
Yeah.
game week, and that had a really great analysis of Bruno and Pogba and how Pogba coming to the team has affected Bruno's outputs when it comes to FPL. So Pogba is more of occupying the right side of the midfield right now, and Bruno is taking up the left. So that is kind of reducing the output for Bruno. But then what I feel is when you have a player like Pogba in your team, you always have that luxury. If Bruno is not playing well, Pogba steps up to the plate, and we saw that in the last game as well. So, as a Manchester United fan, I couldn't be happier because he was one concern. We had a talented player in him, and all we wanted to do is just bring the best out of him. So great to see that Ole has finally managed to do that. So,
Yep.
although we have not seen the best of him yet, is what I feel, but I still feel that he has a lot more to give when it comes to goals and assists. So yeah, all in all, great analysis. And moving on, I think we can talk about the cheeky cheapies of FPL. So I think Arsenal assets are dominating this list for quite a while, and it's mostly been Emil Smith Rowe and Bukayo Saka. So those midfielders have been really impressive under that Arteta system. And although the only disappointment that I saw today is I was watching the Southampton and Arsenal game, and Emil Smith Rowe wasn't in the squad, so not sure if that's a rest or an injury issue. Although Saka did come off the bench and he could not affect the game, but I feel they offer a lot when it comes to FPL. So Zoo, what do you think? Do you eye for any of the midfielders? Because I see a spot of Stephens in your squad, and I guess you would like to upgrade that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean Stevens is I have no idea why I brought him in the first place. I think I had him since game week 3 when I played
Wildcard.
my wild card. I was hoping him to be nailed every game just like he was in Brighton, but unfortunately even in the Burnley team he cannot he cannot nail that starting spot. So quite unfortunate. But ever since then, he's stuck on a bench until now. But yeah, and Emil Smith Rowe is really interesting because he is he some I'm not sure how far fetched is this. Some even liken him to similar to Kevin De Bruyne. So, but I think he really transformed. He and Saka really transformed the Arsenal team. Uh, haven't heard of any news of why he's out today, but I would assume that it was for a rest. So he should be back for their another game against Southampton again. But yeah, I mean he's a really interesting player to have in your team, in anyone's team, because firstly I would think his spot is nailed, and he's changing the team. Imagine a teenager from the academy is benching Pepe. So
Mhm.
so it's definitely Arteta is putting his faith in Emil Smith Rowe and Saka. Saka is another interesting player. I've seen him play a few games, but I think ever since he started on the right wing, he had either a goal or an assist every game, if I'm not mistaken, almost, or at least almost every game. So seems like, because he has been playing so many different positions previously, even left back, left wing back, left midfield, right. So I would think that he probably finally discovered correct position, which is the right wing, and Arteta knows that as well. So seems like he's kept that position for himself. So yeah, I mean, if I was on a wild card, I'd definitely bring either Saka or Emil Smith-Rowe. But right now, to me, Arsenal is still a little bit unstable. And still there's some uncertainty surrounding their team. Like just now, they lost to Southampton. Even in game week 18, where most of the free hitters are hoping for them to have an easy win, they come up with a 0-0. So yeah, Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka are definitely great enablers for us to bring other expensive players, but I will probably consider them in my wildcard team when I play it, maybe in game week 25. So yeah, so that's what my thoughts on Arsenal assets at the moment.
Yeah, really analysis on both the young Arsenal picks. So I'd just like to touch upon Luke Shaw. I think he's been an amazing upgrade on Luke Shaw of old. So Alex Telles coming into the team has basically just pushed him to maybe improve his game, and that's really great to see because Luke Shaw, when he was back at Southampton, he was someone who used to bomb forward from that left flank and deliver crosses, and I think that is something that he has brought into his game right now. Although he's not giving FPL returns because his end product is not there yet, but I feel that he's finding the positions, and it's sooner rather than later when he's going to get either an assist or maybe get lucky with a goal. You never know. So that's a player you want to watch out. And I'd like to ask Anand if he has anyone in mind because he does own Dallas right now. So not sure if he plans to remove him. What are your thoughts, Anand?
I mean, he better return some points in the coming game week because I trusted him so much. Even he was having just one match and I started him instead of Justin. So that is the amount of trust I had on him. So he better return them. But yeah, I really like Dallas as a pick. He has been in a sensational form this season. At the start of the season, there was a toss up between Dallas or Ayling. I went with Ayling at the start of the season because Ayling was playing at right back, and Ayling looked pretty similar to Dallas in terms of going forward. But then in the last few weeks, we've seen that Ayling has been appointed to play at the centre back role, and because of that, I feel now Dallas is a better pick if you really want to bring in a Leeds defender. A lot of people would question this move because Leeds do not keep a lot of clean sheets, but they have kept 6. But it's the attacking returns that Dallas is providing with already 3 goals and 2 assists. Let's see how many more he can get. I really liked the discussion that you both were having regarding Smith Rowe and Saka. And Joe also said, and even when we were discussing offline with our friend Toby, so Toby said that when Smith Rowe was small, young, he used to be known as the Kevin De Bruyne of Croydon, which is an area near Crystal Palace. So that's how it is. He has really good statistics so far. He's recording 2 key passes per match, and his goal creation action per 90 minutes is 0.90. And these are really high figures. Bruno Fernandez has a goal creation action of 0.92. But yes, Bruno has accumulated this figure over a span of 16-17 game weeks, while Smith Rowe has just entered the Arsenal team. And yes, because of so much, you never know which Arsenal side is going to turn up on that particular day, and it is clearly work in progress for Arsenal. Clearly, and they are moving in the right direction probably with Arteta bringing in good players. Also, there are rumors regarding Odegaard joining Arsenal from Real Madrid, and Odegaard likes that number 10 role. So will that impact Smith Rowe's position? As of now, maybe perhaps. But as of now, if you want to get in a 5th bench midfielder, that probably one day if your regular essential midfielder is not playing, then probably Smith Rowe can come in from the bench. If that is your strategy, then good enough. But yes, him having in your team as a main player, I don't know how long or how good that strategy will be for you guys. But yes, for a 4.5 midfielder, get him straight away. If you are playing with a 3-4-3 formation with just four midfielders, having Smith Rowe as a fifth midfielder at the most minimum cost, it cannot be wrong at all.
Yeah.
And I think you guys have one of my favorite keepers from the recent game weeks is Areola. I think Areola is making some interesting saves, like really good saves, and he's already recorded 67 saves to his name. So Fulham coming back to form, and they have some good fixtures as well. So Areola can be one if you really want to bring in your team. And Fulham will also have some double game weeks, so probably if you still have your bench boost left, probably he can be a really good shout over there. Joe, Akshay, anything else to add in this section?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at Fulham's fixtures. Yeah, I mean, they are having quite good fixtures. And then I think recently they really tightened up in terms of defense. I think among the other teams, like West Brom, Sheffield United, Newcastle, I think Fulham, they are actually not as compared to the start of the season. I think currently they are quite improved, and mainly, I mean, one of the reasons is because of Areola. So yeah, I mean, he is a good shout if you're looking for a second playing goalkeeper, because I think they are playing against Brighton on game week 20, and they are playing against West Brom on game week 21. So these two games, pretty sure they are trying their best to at least get points from these two games. So yeah, I agree. Areola is a good shout. To be honest, even in the FPL expectations, when we are comparing Johnston and Areola, we actually preferred the Fulham side, because as a team, they really tightened up past few games.
Yeah, nice that you threw in the cheeky name of John Stones, who was the absolute legend of Game Week 19. So we're
Yeah.
calling him Sir Jonathan Stones right now, and 7 points for a defender. When I saw that brace, and me and Anand, we were on a call actually watching that City game, and we were watching John Stones scoring a brace, and we were dancing over there, despite being United fans. That's what FPL does to you.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to point out, John Stones had a brace. I think both are from set pieces, or at least results from set pieces. I think one from his head, and another one was a rebound, or if I'm not mistaken. So it was against Palace. So you can imagine Palace going to play against West Ham. So West Ham would definitely fancy those chances, especially from set pieces and headers.
Yeah, I really like that connect you made with that Antonio link you mentioned earlier. So just a disclaimer for all the cheapies, because we've all been scammed there. We've all gone that train. We had Ryan Brewsters, we have Ollie Burks, we have Dale Stephens. Watch out, select your cheapie, and be careful when you do that.
Yep.
Yeah, so next up we have your team, Joe. So I'd like you to walk us through your team.
Okay, so this is currently my bus team. As you can see, I have a huge headache in the form of Jamie Vardy and Kevin De Bruyne. So I stuck them both on the bench. Right now, I still not a concrete plan on what to do, especially with the COVID-19 in the UK situation right now. This season has been really unpredictable. We don't know what's happening. Like even right now, just now's match. Arteta was mentioning Aubameyang just, I think, hours before the match. He had a personal matter that he had to attend, and he left. We do not know what's happening. Even Arteta also said that he might miss the game week 20 match, because sounds bad. Hopefully things are okay with him or his family, you know. So yeah, so the whole season has been really unpredictable because of the pandemic, you know. So I'm trying my very best to leave it as late as possible. But you know, hopefully City's squad can come out unharmed from their FA Cup match. I'm most probably, you know, as I mentioned about Gundogan before, so I'm looking at one of my transfers to be Kevin De Bruyne to Gundogan, because game week 20 is all about City versus West Brom in my eyes. So definitely I will want to bring at least another City asset. And another one is Grealish. Grealish is a quite interesting prospect, because you know we all know how Villa has been playing this season. They are definitely a surprise package, you know, like pre-season we never expect Villa to be such a organized and a well-structured team as they are today. So with Barkley coming back, we can probably see Grealish being the Grealish before Barkley got injured, with the goals and hopefully the FPL points. So looking to upgrade Stevens to Grealish, you know, since I have the funds from the Gundogan transfer, and probably sticking Vardy to the bench, because I think Rogers made a quite interesting statement earlier. He said that Vardy could come back earlier than expected. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, but I'm still probably going to transfer Vardy out in game week 21, because I think in terms of strikers right now, not many interesting ones, other than Antonio or maybe Kane. Watkins, I'm not really sure. You know, he has been underperforming in terms of FPL points lately. So most probably looking to upgrade Vardy to Kane on game week 21. So these are all in my mind right now. But you know, deadline is the 27th of January. I mean, this is for Malaysian time. I think for the UK it's on the 26th of January. So still have time to see what's going on. And then, you know, there's the FA Cup games as well. You know, who knows what will happen after that? Yeah. Because I think that the last time they had a Carabao Cup or FA Cup game, you know, so many teams got COVID positive. Yeah. So
yeah, no plans to get Danny Ings.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to. I was considering Danny Ings, especially if Arsenal wins, because that means Leeds and Southampton, they will most probably have a double game week on a game week 23. But unfortunately, we can't enjoy that. But yeah, I mean, Danny Ings is also another interesting prospect to have. So I'll probably see how he performs against Arsenal again before making my decision on my Vardy replacement.
Just the report that I heard was so Bruno shared this report, and Vardy is probably having a hernia operation.
Yep.
And if he's having a hernia operation, then probably he's definitely out for a couple of weeks, if not more. So yeah, I think great shouts regarding Kane and Ings as your Vardy replacement. I also saw that you have a lot of money in your bank, 2.9. So easily from Vardy you can upgrade to anybody that you want. Even for that matter, you can even get in the isolating Aguero if you want to. That is what I did and have been doing so far this season.
He's already been very unlucky. He's already been very unlucky with 2 injuries, because when I was watching those injury news coming and I was watching Zoo's tweets coming in, It started with KDB and then Vardy.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, because I didn't know about the Vardy news, and here I saw in the FPL expectations chat group. I was like, no way, what I mean, like the Vardy, I mean, sorry, the hernia operation news came out of nowhere. So it's like, oh no, I mean, like I brought in Vardy for game week 17, and then for game week 19, it was such a disappointment so far for me.
Yeah, when all Leicester,
Yeah, but I think
all Leicester players are scoring 14, 15, 16, 17 points and Vardy's on 4, you got to be disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
Akshay, can you guess how old Joe is? Because looking at him, he looks like a 12-year-old baby. But
I would like to give a wild guess of 26.
Wow.
okay, I'll tell you another thing. He's married.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have a daughter as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
just
Joe,
just to share with you guys, I think this year I'm turning 35.
oh, crazy, Joe. Like
Yeah.
I want that secret that you have. Like, what is that secret?
You are certainly not aging like fine wine.
Another thing, Joe, what a season you're having. 26,000, and like Akshay said, up from here. Just go win it. Just perform the best, and just wishing you all the good luck for the season ahead.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, all in all, I think it's been a great talk. Great to have you here, Joe. I would like to just thank our listeners for tuning in yet again and for showering us with all the appreciation and feedback so far. So, if you're new here, please like our video, please subscribe to the channel, and if you want to follow Zoe on Twitter, you can go on Twitter and type FPLZHOU, that's FPL Zoe. And yeah, he's been doing great work, as I mentioned, and you would like to have a look at his content. So, yeah, thank you so much once again, Zoe, and as always, may the arrows be green, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.